Pregame.com.
Welcome back, pregame.tv. We're moving from the NBA to college basketball. ESPN game. We're going to be breaking down Duke, Virginia, and should be a very, very good game. Hopefully a better game than the Iowa State, Kansas game. What an epic fail, disaster. I had Iowa State, and those games happen, don't they, Brian Leonard?
They do, and I felt terrible for one of the posters on the site. 17-0-1 run, hadn't lost a game, and he lost that one. And tough way to lose, but
yeah. Can you imagine you're 17-0-1 and you're feeling invincible? You're up 5 at the end of the game, and then the refs, every call goes against you. And hey, 17-1-1, better than your 12-2 recent run.
It's pretty impressive, yeah.
But probably right on par with my recent run at 25-10. But I definitely had Iowa State in that game, and I was kicking myself. It's funny how the world works, because I was saying, why didn't I make that a 3-weight? It was so obvious they were going to win. And then the game ends. I was like, thank goodness I made it just a normal 1-weighted play. So. And
then you happened to throw earlier a couple of your tickets on the table here, and you had some good numbers.
Yeah, I had my Iowa State losing tickets, and I take them. I said, well, I'm going to throw these out, and Brian snatched them up. It's like, those are tax receipts.
That's right. You got to pay taxes on our winnings. I'm taking as many.
I got more losers than you, so I don't have to keep each and every single one of them. But let's break down the Duke Virginia game, and I really see these two teams with complete home road dichotomies, where you have Duke, and you look at their schedule, and it's funny how, like, they say at Davidson, but they weren't at Davidson. They were at a neutral site in that game where they played very well. They have a lot of games where they really weren't on the road. As soon as they hit the road, hard times hit. They get woodshedded by NC State. They lose at Maryland, and really they only have one recent impressive win. They clobbered Virginia Tech, I know, who's pretty much a dead team. And then they went over to, on the Florida side, I went over the Virginia side, and every game in conference, it doesn't matter who they play, they win by double digits, even North Carolina. And it's just incredible how good this team is at home. And it makes me think of the Iowa State team that was undefeated in their Hilton Coliseum. And here's a very similar game, and I'm going to get my Iowa State money back, I think. Here will probably be a similar spread. Do you think Duke probably -2 or 3, right?
I'm guessing in the 2.5 range. Yeah, you take a look at Duke. They're 4-3 straight up in the road, 2-5 against the spread. And you did mention the Virginia Tech game. It tells you when a team is really hot against a team that's really cold, what difference it can make. Duke wins that game by 32 points. So hopefully a lot of people will look at that and say, oh, they're back. Now they're starting to gel. Now they're starting to play better without their best player. But take a look what they did from three-point range. 70.6% from the field, from downtown. The Hokies, 6.3%. You're not going to win many games.
Thank goodness, because I had the under in the second half in that game. And I have to tell you, I was screaming at the TV. By the way, Las Vegas, I think, leads the world in per capita sales of remote controls, because so many of them get thrown through the window and into the TV set when they're making 3 after 3 after running the shot clock down. But that really, when I watched that game, it was just incredible. They just let them keep bombing from 3.
Yeah, you take a look, and you mentioned Virginia, 16-1 straight up at home, 12-2-1 against the spread. What's amazing to me, and we've kind of touched on this in a few videos every week, we seem to get one of these games where a team is great and they lose to a nobody. And they lost to 4-24 Old Dominion, who had to fire their drunk coach earlier this season.
Maybe he was still sober. It was that long ago.
That's probably when he started drinking heavily.
Then word,
hey, we beat a good team.
Then word got out. But I tell you what, if after the Iowa State game against Kansas, if I lose this Duke Virginia one, maybe I will go ahead and have a few Jack and Cokes myself. But let's go ahead and make it official. All right, bounce back on this game. Very similar to the Iowa State-Kansas game that I did personally lose on. Not going to lose this one. I will be all over Virginia. They will be a small underdog, and I fully expect that, as VR likes to say, not only will I take them with the points, I'll sprinkle in some money line. I'm confident that Virginia is the right side. And despite the fact that I love Coach K, by the way, I got to meet him last year at Michael's. So he was the nicest guy in the world, and normally I would be rooting for him if I wasn't betting against him, which I will be heavily in this game. go Cavs. I think we're going to wrap up with the winner here with our videos. But be sure, I want to make sure everyone's, this is our last video that we talked about Duke, Virginia. But on Friday night, special treat, we are going to have the big man in the office here, R.J. Bell with Vegas Runner, breaking down some videos for the weekend action. I know we had some situations come up where we couldn't have those videos last week, and I personally really looking forward, and I'll tune into those this coming weekend here at pregame.tv. Stay tuned.